Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to the pod. This is literally the fourth time I have started this podcast episode, and I am not restarting it, okay? So if my dogs start barking in the background, just please forgive me, okay? So, Happy New Year. I have not podcasted the new year at all, and that was intentional. I feel like I needed an honest break to just reset and recalibrate my mind. I felt kind of lost at the beginning of the new year when it came to like marketing and how to speak to the people I want to speak to and all of that. So I just needed a second to be like, okay, I need to figure things out. Okay. So that was like the reasoning behind my break. And I feel really refreshed and like I have a great direction to go in. And so that feels really good. And today I want to share a little bit about some changes that I've implemented over the past couple of weeks that have been extreme changes for me, but absolutely necessary. And I can already feel a shift in my mind and towards my business. And I want to share them through podcast episode because I have also been sharing with one of the coaches I mentor, and it, inspired her to take some of this action on herself and implement it into her life, and it's already helped her, and she's seeing positive impacts on her daily life from it. So basically I made a huge shift to consume a lot less. I am doing this thing called a dopamine detox for 30 days, and the whole idea behind this is to reset your mind to not be so addicted to this fake dopamine that is in our world, right? And some of the things involved in this is you have to turn your screens to grayscale. So like my phone and computer is set on grayscale, and my iPad. So there's like no color, right? I'm just looking at a black and white screen. And that in and of itself has been like so weird. But it was really funny because after like 4 days, I turned on my color for like a second because I wanted to check the lighting in this video I was about to record. And the color was so harsh on my eyes, I had to turn it right back to grayscale. Like my eyes were not adjusted to something being that stimulating after just a few days of break. And I'm doing this for 30 days, so I'm really interested to see how things feel after the 30 days. But the whole idea behind like the grayscale is less input into our mind, less likely you're going to doom scroll and be scrolling on social media, because let me tell you, scrolling in black and white is a much different experience than when the color is on. So naturally you just want to be on your phone less. I downloaded a app to control my time on social media apps, and that has been helpful, just adding another step before opening in the app or whatever. And then also you can't listen to any podcast or audiobook. Like we're really minimizing the input that goes in our head for this 30 days. And no music with words, when you can control it. So like, obviously I coach in person at a gym as well. And so when I'm there, I'm obviously listening to like music or whatever, but like when it's me, like when I'm in the car, I'm listening to like nothing or just like instrumental music. And for the first few days, it was so uncomfortable to not always be listening to something. I'm definitely someone who's like constantly listening to an audiobook or a podcast, or a video or something like while I'm doing something else. And after not doing that for a few days, I was like, no wonder I was feeling so overloaded in my mind and so anxious all the time, because I was giving my brain way too many inputs throughout the day. And I felt like I could not think, anxiety high, don't feel creative, I just like mush, right? And I know that a lot of us can tend to feel like that, especially with social media and the constant inputs we're giving our body. Like, our brains are not meant to handle this much input. And so that has been a huge shift. And I'm on day 8 of doing this, right? And it's for 30 days. And I'm really interested to see how I feel after the 30 days. Because even after, a week of doing this, I'm already noticing a difference. And other aspects of this, I'm doing journaling every day and meditating for 15 minutes a day. I am not somebody who meditates or anything like that, but let me tell you, it is an interesting experience to just literally sit there and listen to your guided meditation or whatever, and just like be still, and your mind just goes insane for like 10 minutes. At least mine does. For like 10 minutes before actually calming down. But I can tell a difference. Like, when I do that, I feel better afterwards. My mind feels better afterwards. And it's just, the life that we live is so overstimulating, and everything is going against us. It's never been easier to constantly be listening to something, to waste 2 hours of time on social media, literally doing nothing, and then feeling like shit afterwards, to never actually sitting down to read, never actually sitting in silence with our own thoughts. Like, it's so easy to just constantly have input, and it is making us anxious, depressed, stressed out, and so anyways, so this is basically what I wanted to share about, and I'm going to keep you guys updated with like how I'm feeling throughout the month with doing this. But like I said, on day 8, I am pretty bought in with doing all of this, and my mind is starting to shift in a really good way. So I'm excited to see how I feel after the 30 days. And if you are somebody listening to this who you have been very stressed out, you feel like you can't think, you feel more anxious than usual, and you just need to make a shift, I encourage you to first audit. Do you ever have time in your day to not be listening to something, right? Not having any inputs, like to sit with yourself. And when I was talking about this with one of my clients, she was like, oh, I literally never sit in silence, and she was dealing with some overwhelm and anxiety. And I'm like, look, just try to implement some points in your day where you're not listening to something. And she decided to go with doing some silent car rides, not listening to anything in the car. And even just that small shift of the silent car rides, she is noticing a positive impact on her other habits. So it's having kind of a domino effect into other aspects and habits of her life that she knows she needs to do better at. So if you are somebody that is like intrigued by this or interested, I highly encourage you to just audit where you're at and see like, what's a small shift I can make towards being a little bit more mindful, towards incorporating more of these habits that I want to incorporate during the day. Because it's really not so much as like we are overloaded with things to do. We might be, but we are overburdening our brains with input. And so it makes us feel like we are more overwhelmed or more things to do than like we actually do. So anyways, I hope that this first of all made sense, and I hope that your New Year's off to a good start. And I highly encourage you to sit with this and think about incorporating some of this into your own life and just seeing if you notice a mental shift. And sorry about Murphy in the background, but I will be back soon on the pod. Thanks for listening.